Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side. And one of those reality shows that we're doing is Real Housewives of New York. Okay, so this is like for the past 2 weeks of the Housewives of New York, because last week we did Dancing for Relevancy because I saw the live show, which actually just ended. So congratulations to the cast of the Dancing for Relevancy live show. It was great. Okay. I still have that gash on my tongue. It's awful. Okay, anyways, so last week was the finale of the Housewives of New York, and then yesterday was the part one of the reunion, and it's a 3-part reunion. Now, granted, it probably won't be as fierce as Atlanta, because Atlanta was a 4-part reunion. And it really did justify being in 4 parts. This one's 3, so we'll see if it justifies. You know, the Vanderpump Rules was 3 parts, and it really could have been 2. So we'll see how that goes. But the finale, okay, let's talk about the finale. So the finale of the show was centered around Tinsley Mortimer. You know who I love. I adore her. She was doing she was throwing a thank you party for Sonia for letting her stay with her. And she was pissed off at Sonia because Sonia had said some things to the press, which pretty much every single woman on the show, I kind of think that's kind of a rite of passage with Sonia. If you're going to be on the show, Sonia's probably going to talk about you in the press. That's how it goes, right? Oh, you know what was really funny was Tinsley was on Watch What Happens Live, and someone called it a local, someone called Page Six a local paper, and it's kind of true, because, I mean, we don't even get Page Six out here in Las Vegas or even in California unless you go to some specific newsstand that imports it from New York City. It's really just a New York City paper. So the fact that they're all butthurt about being in a local paper is kind of silly to me. That's just me. I'm just saying. Anywho. But she's all upset, and she's telling, Sonia that she's really, she basically said about Sonia to Carol, and she was kidding, but this was not a good joke to make. She said, this is a thank you, fuck you party to Sonia. So Sonia comes into the party, first of all, late. She's the last one to arrive, which, you know what? That's fine, though. If it's a party for you and you're the last one to arrive, then everyone's gotten there and you're kind of making an entrance. Okay, I get that. That's not that big of a deal. She's the last one to arrive to the party, and she comes in hot. She's pissed, right? And Bethany is not helping the situation because she is throwing fucking grease on that fire, right? So Sonia comes, and she's got a bad attitude. She's like, I don't want to drink that. It's too sweet, blah, 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 right? And Sonia, Tinsley ends up giving her this toast, saying all these wonderful things about Sonia, how Sonia, basically took her in when she was at a very low point in her life, and she's so grateful for Sonia, blah, 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 right? We've all heard it before. We've heard how grateful she is. So, so Sonia's like, at that moment, I changed my mind, and I decided to have a good time. Oh, God. Okay, well, that's fine. Great, power to you for making personal growth. That's great. I'm really over all of the housewife shows, whether it's New York, Orange County, Beverly Hills, Atlanta. They always end at some fucking party. Why? Why does it have to be at a party? I mean, I don't know. It's seeming kind of old, right? It's just like, okay, there's a party, so this is going to be the last episode of the season. I mean, even the international girls, Melbourne, Cheshire, I mean, it's all the same. It's always at some fucking party. They always close the show. So that part, I wish they would just do something else. Like, what if they got in a huge fight in Mexico and they all went their separate ways, and then we saw what happened? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do they always have to, close it off at a party? I don't get it. I really don't. And then at the party, Luann was having some issues with Tom. And they get into that more in the reunion, because 3 weeks after the reunion taped, she filed for divorce, which is very interesting. It's very interesting because she waited until after she taped the reunion before she divorced Tom, because I am 100% certain that the issues that she divorced him over were still around when they did the reunion, but she didn't want to cop to anything at the reunion or have to answer for anything at the reunion, especially if it's behavior that isn't even hers. Like if it's her husband's behavior, she doesn't want to have to answer for it. So she's staying with him, and then afterwards she gets divorced quietly. Although it's not really that quiet, everyone knows about it. So it does put a different spin on the reunion, because we can then see, we can then see, okay, there's something going on here, right? I mean, we probably would have said that also anyways, but with her now getting divorced, we're like, okay, there's really something going on here. So one of the things that Andy did is he asked Ramona what she knew last season. Because, at the reunion last season, he asked Ramona, you sound like you know something. Do you know something? She's like, no, I'm not saying anything. And she basically says she heard that, Tom was visiting this woman at this hotel, and then he went up to her room, but nothing happened, and then he ended up leaving. But, if Bethany, I'm sorry, you can hear that dripping. It's the sink. There we go. There we go. Took care of that. The frustrating thing about Bethany is that I feel like Bethany always feels like she has to be on. Right? She's always got to have the funny one-liners. And she is a very funny person, don't get me wrong. She's come up with some good ones. But just all the time, like, when they were talking to Ramona last season saying, you know something. And Bethany's like, oh, well, I guess I'm the idiot in the room. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. It's like, girl, no one's talking to you right now. They're talking to Ramona. If she says there's nothing, I mean, like, we don't need your commentary on it. So, I mean, so Dorinda, I fucking love Dorinda. I love Dorinda. I do. So Dorinda, because Sonia kind of brought it up with Dorinda saying, how dare you say that I drink all the time? You drink just as much as me. And Dorinda's like, bitch, I'm not the one saying I'm sober, right? I'm not saying I've ever been sober. You're the one saying you've been sober for 10 months, blah, blah, blah. And we know you're not. And so Andy asked Tinsley, he's like, does she drink or did she drink? And she's like, look, it was never out of control. And she maybe had a sip or two in those 10 months, but she was never like, she never got drunk that whole time. And so, but Andy was like, that's different than being sober. Sober means not a drop of booze, right? Lots of people drink all the time and don't get drunk. So he had a point. So I'm just saying. Anywho, that's really all that there really was. And then, so Dorinda was talking about how Ramona had basically taken down these production lights and chipped the paint on the room and basically vandalized the room. And she and Ramona was upset at the way that Dorinda portrayed it, but Dorinda was like, but it's the truth. So Ramona apologized. I mean, she is the apologizer though, right? So we all know that that's Ramona, right? So we're expecting that. And Sonia actually apologized. Who did she apologize to? Either Luann or Dorinda, or maybe even Ramona. I don't know. Someone on that side of the room. I don't even remember who she apologized to, but it was Dorinda. She apologized to Dorinda. Because Dorinda's like, I can't believe you're still mad about the fucking Berkshires. I mean, like, I was trying to do you a solid, and then you are all bitchy at me, whatever. So I give Dorinda credit because she knew what was going on. So next week we'll see part 2, and we'll see what new secrets get revealed in part 2. I want to say thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can hashtag RHONY or Real Housewife Shit to talk the Real Housewives with me. Or you can hashtag Below Deck Med because I'm doing them tomorrow morning. And then I'll do Days of Our Lives tomorrow night. And then you can hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your inbox every single day. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.